You've probably heard 100 times that losing strength after 60 is just aging. The story sounds tidy. Muscles shrink, energy fades, balance gets shaky, and there's not much you can do. But that story misses something important. Every day, long before you step onto a treadmill or pick up a dumbbell, your plate is already coaching your muscles. Some foods whisper, "Keep what matters." Others quietly say, "You won't need this much leg anymore." Tonight I want to speak to you as a guide, not as a doctor, and show you how 3 everyday foods, ordinary things that feel harmless, can slowly drain the strength you rely on to stand from a chair, climb a step, and feel steady on your own feet. I'll explain exactly how each one steals strength, what to eat instead, and how to apply this in real kitchens, restaurants, and busy days. By the end, you'll have a calm, practical plan to protect your circulation, keep your legs present, and hold on to the confidence that makes life larger in your 70s and beyond. Let's begin with a truth that helps everything else make sense. After midlife, your muscles don't stop listening. They grow harder of hearing. Scientists call this anabolic resistance, which simply means the old signals to build and repair need to be louder and better timed. Give your muscles a clear cue, gentle tension from movement plus protein they can actually use, and they answer. Starve them of that cue. Flood them with sugar waves or nightcaps that shred deep sleep, or salt them into swelling and pressure spikes, and they stop investing in the tissue that keeps you independent. The 3 foods I'm about to name are so common that many people eat at least one of them most days. None of this is about guilt, it's about precision. Small shifts that return large pieces of your life. The first thief hides in the first hour of your day. Sugary breakfast foods and liquid sugar drinks. I'm not talking about the occasional celebration pastry. I'm talking about the routine of coffee with flavored creamer and a sweet roll, fruit juice sold as pure morning, or a bowl of lightly sweetened flakes that is mostly starch with a sprinkle of protein. At 30, your body might have shrugged. After 60, that pattern quietly tells your muscle, not today. Here's why. Overnight, your bloodstream runs low on amino acids, the building blocks of muscle. Your legs wake up like a dry sponge waiting for water. When the first calories you deliver are rapid sugars and refined flours, blood glucose spikes and then dips. Insulin has to shout to clean up the mess, and your appetite drifts toward more fast energy later. You feel it as hollow thighs on the stairs before lunch. What you don't feel is the signal your muscles didn't get. A confident pulse of protein, including the amino acid leucine, that flips the repair switch. Sugar didn't just fail to help, it crowded out what would have. You can fix this tomorrow without giving up joy. Keep your coffee if you love it. Just demote the sugar wave and promote a protein anchor. Within 60 and 90 minutes of waking, build a plate that carries roughly 25-30 grams of protein and at least a modest source of leucine. Think 2 eggs with tomatoes and spinach plus half a cup of Greek or soy yogurt, a cup of cottage cheese with berries and a spoon of walnuts, a milk or soy milk smoothie blended with berries, a measured scoop of whey or soy, and a spoon of ground flax, or a tofu scramble with peppers and onions, avocado on the side, and a warm corn tortilla. If you prefer oats, cook them in milk, stir in a half scoop of protein near the end, and finish with fruit and pumpkin seeds. If you're fully plant-based, lean on soy, tempeh, tofu, soy yogurt, soy milk to hit the threshold without massive portions. And if your morning appetite is small, start with half a portion and a plan, not a debate. A half cup of yogurt with nuts is better than coffee and a promise. This isn't a diet, it's a signal. Pair that breakfast with a single minute of leg tension. Slow sit-to-stands with a tiny hover over the chair, or an easy wall sit while the kettle warms, and your muscles will hear you more clearly than they have in years. You will notice the difference in weeks, sometimes days, not on a scale, but in the way you stand without using your hands. If sweet breakfasts are your joy, use harm reduction, not all or nothing rules. Keep the pastry small and add a protein side, yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, or tofu, so the sugar doesn't travel alone. Trade juice for fruit you can chew. Fiber slows the wave and leaves you satisfied. Choose whole grain toast with nut butter instead of jam only. And if a flavored creamer snuck into more milk than coffee, reclaim your mug. Top up with milk or soy milk and let sweetness be a whisper, not the headline. The goal isn't to live on a monk's breakfast. It's to send a morning signal that keeps your legs on the payroll. The second thief doesn't come with frosting. It comes with a price sticker on the deli counter and the center aisles. Think ultra-processed salty foods. Deli meats, hot dogs, bacon, heavily processed sausages, canned cream soups, instant noodles, and snack foods that hide salt in plain sight. The problem isn't just that these foods are salty, it's the way salt, additives, and low nutrient density nudge your circulation, joints, and appetite in the wrong direction after 60. As arteries stiffen with age, your body becomes more salt sensitive. What you could shrug off at 35 now pushes blood pressure up and keeps it up longer. Higher pressure is not just a number. It's a daily sandpaper on the microscopic filters in your kidneys and the small vessels that feed your leg muscles. That means more evening swelling, heavier calves, and less desire to move, the very thing your muscles need to stay. Processed meats also tend to push protein onto your plate wrapped in sodium and saturated fat, with fewer of the supporting nutrients, like potassium and magnesium, that friendly foods carry. Add the fact that ultra-processed items are designed to be over-easy to eat, fast, soft, and often sweetened. And you end up full before your muscles ever got what they needed. Again, there's a friendly fix. Keep protein center stage, but change the cast. Swap deli slices for rotisserie chicken you shred at home, tuna or salmon packed in water or olive oil, beans tossed with olive oil and lemon, tofu crisped in a pan with garlic and herbs, or eggs you boil once for the week. If you love a sandwich, make it a build sandwich. Whole grain bread, a real protein, crunch from lettuce or cabbage, tomatoes, pickled onions for brightness, and a swipe of mustard or hummus. If soup is your comfort, choose low-sodium broths and load them with beans, vegetables, and a scoop of cooked quinoa or barley. Finish with lemon and herbs so flavor doesn't depend on the shaker. If snack time is where salt sneaks in, keep nuts, seeds, carrots, cherry tomatoes, edamame, and fruit visible, and move the chips out of sight. Read labels for sodium like you would for price. Aim for numbers that start with a 1 per serving, not a 4 or 6. Season boldly, just not with salt alone. Garlic, pepper, smoked paprika, cumin, citrus, fresh herbs, and vinegars make food sing without asking your arteries to carry the tune. You will feel the payoff in circulation as much as in strength. Cavies won't balloon by dinner. Ankles will leave your socks alone. Blood pressure will stop staging afternoon protests. And your appetite will shift, because plates built around real protein and color hold you longer than a stack of crackers and a promise. If you already have a salty favorite you're not ready to let go of, apply a simple 2-step rule. Shrink the portion and surround it. A few thin slices of your favorite cured meat at a family meal won't break you if the rest of the plate leans on beans, greens, and a lemon olive oil dressing. Make salt an accent, not the soundtrack. Your legs will thank you in how light the second step of a staircase suddenly feels. The third thief lives at the opposite edge of the day, where it can do the most damage. Nightly alcohol. A glass of wine with friends, a beer with the game, a nightcap to help sleep. These are normal social habits. But after 60, the same drink has outsized effects on the very systems that preserve strength. Alcohol blunts deep sleep, especially the first big block of slow-wave sleep when growth and repair want the stage. It fragments the night so you never sink deep enough for your muscles to rebuild, your brain to consolidate balance cues, or your hormones to release in the rhythm that favors maintenance over breakdown. It dehydrates, which cramps calves, stiffens morning joints, and increases the odds of nighttime blood pressure spikes. And it flips appetite toward sugar and salt the next day just when you need a calm, protein-forward plate. A nightcap may make your eyelids heavy. It doesn't make your repair deeper. Over weeks and months, it becomes a slow leak in the reserve tank you want full. You don't need to live dry to protect your strength. You need to change the pattern. Move alcohol earlier and make it modest, closer to happy hour than to bedtime. ideally with food. Choose nights on purpose, not by default, and choose fewer. Replace the nightcap with a sleep ritual your muscles love. Dim lights, a warm shower, a 5-minute breathing practice with a longer exhale, and a small protein snack if dinner was light. Half a cup of cottage cheese, a cup of Greek or soy yogurt, or a small glass of milk or soy milk. That modest protein drip feeds amino acids through the first deep sleep block, so the leg tissue you ask for every morning has materials to rebuild. If nighttime bathroom trips are part of your story, taper fluids 90 minutes before lights out and prop your legs on a cushion for 20-30 minutes in the late afternoon so swelling drains before bed. You will sleep more deeply, wake with less stiffness, and feel your legs belong to you earlier in the day. And if you choose to enjoy a drink, enjoy it. Just let it be part of a life that protects the night your muscles work hardest. Now, let's pull all 3 threads into a day you can repeat without thinking. Morning, send a clear signal. Do a 60-second leg nudge. Slow sit to stands with a 2-second hover above the chair or a gentle wall sit. And then eat a protein-anchored breakfast within an hour or 2 of waking. Late morning, sip water, not liquid sugar. Lunch, build a calm plate around real protein and color. Beans with olive oil and lemon and a heap of vegetables. Tuna with tomatoes, cucumbers and herbs. Tofu stir-fried with peppers and broccoli. Leftover chicken over greens with seeds on top. After lunch, take the friendliest walk of your life, 5 minutes in your hallway or on your porch. That tiny post-meal walk steadies sugar, protects circulation, and tells your legs they still have a job. Afternoon, if you snack, make it a muscle snack, yogurt, nuts, edamame, cottage cheese with fruit, or a small smoothie, so dinner doesn't have to do all the protein work. Dinner, keep salt reasonable and protein present, and let the heaviest meals live at midday when your body handles them better. Evening, dim lights an hour before bed, skip the sleepy drink, and choose the breathing pattern that lowers your heart rate. Inhale gently for 4, exhale slowly for 6 or 7. Repeat for 5 minutes. If dinner was light, add a small protein-centered snack 30-60 minutes before lights out. None of this asks you to be perfect. It asks you to be repeatable. Muscles love repeatable. Because plans become permanent when you can see them in real lives, let me introduce 4 people you might recognize. Rosa is 72 and has lived on sweet coffee and toast since her 20s. She calls her legs asleep before lunch. She decides to test a 2-week experiment. She keeps her coffee but adds a cup of Greek yogurt with walnuts and berries and does a 1-minute set of slow chair stands while the kettle warms. On day 4, she notices she stands from the sofa without pushing on her thighs. On week 2, she's less wobbly carrying laundry baskets down the hall. She didn't join a gym. She changed the first 5 minutes of her day. Daniel is 66, a good cook who stacks most of his protein at dinner and celebrates weekends with bacon and beers. He doesn't want a lecture. He wants his legs back. He keeps his dinners and friends and shifts timing and pattern. Breakfast becomes 2 eggs with tomatoes and onions plus a side of cottage cheese on weekdays. And on weekends, he cuts bacon portions in half and surrounds them with a bean and greens plate that actually tastes better than the old routine. He pushes beer earlier and limits it to a couple of evenings a week, replacing the nightcap with a mug of warm milk and 5 minutes of slow breathing. 3 weeks later, he takes the second flight of stairs without planning a pause. 6 weeks later, he stops using his hands to stand from low chairs. His exercise is still walking and housework. His food just stops stealing his strength. May is 74 and fully plant-based. She worries she can't protect muscle without animal foods and snacks on crackers when she's tired. She learns to use soy intentionally. Breakfast becomes soy yogurt with chia and a small soy milk smoothie. Lunch rotates between tofu stir-fry and a lentil salad with olive oil and pumpkin seeds. She swaps salty instant soups for a homemade pot with low sodium broth, beans and loads of vegetables, seasoned with garlic, ginger and lemon. She keeps a small box of edamame in the freezer for easy afternoon protein and trades her evening rice crackers for a few almonds and a warm cup of soy milk. A month later, she says her stride feels mine again, and the second step of her porch doesn't negotiate anymore. Jorge is 75 and sleeps poorly. He believes a shot of liquor helps, then wakes twice to use the bathroom and rubs his calves because they cramp. He swaps the nightcap for a warm shower, dim lights, and a small bowl of cottage cheese with cinnamon when dinner was light. He elevates his legs on a cushion for 20 minutes in the afternoon and shifts most of his fluids earlier. He keeps a single drink for Saturday dinner with family. In 2 weeks, the cramping eases, and he wakes feeling like his legs arrived before he did. His home blood pressure log looks calmer. He doesn't brag about the change. He's simply less tired of being tired. If you're a how do I start on person, here's a friendly 7-day reset you can begin tomorrow. Day 1, change only breakfast. Add a protein anchor and do 60 seconds of slow sit-to-stands while the kettle warms. Day 2, add the 5-minute post-lunch walk, even if it's in your hallway. Day 3, read sodium on one label you buy weekly and choose the lower sodium twin. Day 4, pick 2 deli or processed meats you eat most and plan a swap. Shredded chicken or beans for one, tofu or tuna for the other. Day 5, move any alcohol you plan to enjoy to earlier in the evening and decide on 2 alcohol-free nights before bed. Day 6, stock your evening with 1 protein-scented snack for nights when dinner was light. Day 7, put a sticky note on your coffee maker that says protein first and another near your TV remote that says dim, breathe, sleep. Then loop the week again. By the second loop, most people report stairs and low chairs feel less like a negotiation and more like a movement they recognize. Let's address the predictable buts so they don't stall you. But sweets make me happy. Keep them small and surround them with protein. You don't need to live in sugar exile. You need to stop letting sugar travel alone. But I've eaten deli sandwiches my whole life. Then make deli the accent, not the anchor. 2 thin slices in a mountain of crunchy vegetables with a smear of hummus and a squeeze of lemon. But I sleep better after wine. You sleep faster, not deeper. Trade 1 night a week and notice how morning legs feel when your first deep sleep cycle is uninterrupted. But my budget is tight. Eggs, milk, yogurt, tofu, beans, lentils, canned fish, and store brand Greek or soy yogurt are among the most affordable muscle foods you can buy. Flavor with garlic, citrus, pepper, and herbs. Save salt for a pinch, not a pour. Because safety protects progress. Set 3 guardrails. First, if you've been told to limit protein because of kidney or liver conditions, keep timing inside your clinician's targets and get advice about portion sizes that fit you. Even within limits, a morning pulse helps. Second, if blood sugar or blood pressure are a part of your daily life, you'll likely see them behave better when you anchor meals with protein and dial back salt at night. Keep your usual monitoring and share your logs with your team. Third, if you take several medications, ask your pharmacist how morning protein fits with them and whether any should be taken apart from dairy or mineral-rich foods. Small adjustments keep the plan smooth. Now I want to put the whole idea into words you could carry in a pocket. After 60, strength doesn't slip because your body stopped caring. It slips because the daily signals got fuzzy. Sugary breakfasts whisper later. Ultra-processed salt pushes circulation the wrong way. Nightly alcohol steals the night your muscles repair. Fix those 3 patterns: protein-anchored mornings, low-salt real foods, deep sleep evenings, and you stop the quiet leak that makes legs feel far away. Pair the pattern with tiny movement nudges, a minute of leg tension in the morning, 5 minutes of walking after meals, and your body will answer faster than you expect. Here's your first small step before you go to bed tonight. Set out what you'll need to win the morning: yogurt front and center, eggs at eye level, tofu drained and ready, nuts in a small jar you can grab with one hand. Put a sturdy chair against the wall where you'll do your 60-second leg nudge. Leave yourself a note by the coffee maker. Protein first. Your legs are listening. Tomorrow, do the minute, eat the breakfast, skip the liquid sugar, and take a 5-minute stroll after lunch. If dinner is light, enjoy a small protein-centered evening snack and guard your first deep sleep block. Tell someone you trust which shift you chose. Ask them to check in with you in a week. Share your win in the comments. The moment you noticed the second step got easier, or you stood from the sofa without using your hands, or you slept through the first half of the night. Your story will help someone else begin. in one line so you can tape it to your fridge and be done with it. Cut the sugar-first breakfast, trade salty ultra-processed convenience for real protein and color, and retire the nightcap. Then bookend your day with small repeatable signals your muscles can't ignore.